outstanding third baseman in his day for the White Sox. And today, he brings the White Sox to Seattle to take on the young Mariners on Fox Saturday Baseball. Hi, everybody. I'm Dave Sims along with Eric Karros, and they got a Chicago ball club that's doing everything that it can to catch Detroit, which won the Central Division last year. What do they have to do to get that done?
Well, the White Sox aren't going to concede anything.
Hey, wait a second, Dave. I know you're Mr. Mariner and EK. You won Rookie of the Year with the Dodgers back in like '64 or something like that. But, hey, let me tell you about the new-look White Sox this year in 2012. New manager Robin Ventura brought a ton of enthusiasm to the team. Just makes us feel good every day we come to the park. Paul Konerko, an ex-teammate of EK up there, who you once told you teach how to hit 260 in this league. Well, guess what? He learned. He hits 300 every year. And we have another guy named Adam Dunn. Everyone said his career was over last year. Well, guess what? 2 homers last night, a double. He's been on fire. He's been carrying us for a while. He's back. So watch out, Central, because the White Sox are ready.
AJ ought to stick to swinging the bat, which he's doing extremely well. Helped us a little bit in the booth last year, but he's doing it on the field this year.
Heck of a story. Where to go, AJ? Meanwhile, it's the Seattle Mariners, a very young team here in the Pacific Northwest. Eric Wedge in his second year, changing the culture. Yeah, they're still throwing the fish down at the market, but this team is pointed in the right direction. It's the Mariners and the White Sox. First pitch is straight ahead here on Fox Saturday Baseball. White Sox and Mariners, game 2 of a 3-game series. Blake Bevan just back from the bullpen, where he was getting ready to start this game in a couple of minutes, along with his catcher Miguel Olivo and pitching coach Carl Willis. Eric Wedge, manager of the Mariners, played his college ball at Wichita State. Oklahoma State, the alma mater of Robin Ventura. These guys played against each other back in college days.
Yeah, they were talking about Eric Wedge specifically before the game, about some of the big rivalry games that they would have and how they'd have to have police escorts at Wichita State Ball Club when they were leaving Oklahoma State. So,
what did he say too? He remembered one game against Robin. Robin, swung the bat really well. He had 0 for 3 come up the 4th time, and hung out a line drive to help win a ball game.
Yeah, one of the great college players to ever don a uniform, Robin Ventura.
58-game hitting streak back in 1987. White Sox won last night's game 7-3. Chris Sally was outstanding. Left-hander, tall, thin left-hander. He threw a heck of a ball game, going 6 1/3, 7 hits and 3 runs. The Mariners couldn't generate much offense, and Adam Dunn was just huge. If you take a look at the last 20 games, it's been all about the White Sox. See, it's unbelievable. Look at those numbers.
No, it really has. I mean, 17-3 offensively, just put a hurting on them. And it's something though that starts to get mental after a while, because you become aware of it as a player. You may not believe in it, but when I'm asking you about it or somebody else is, it's a lot different.
Mariners taking the field, led by Ichiro. His shadow, Munenori Kawasaki, right behind him. Let's take a look at the starting lineup for the Chicago White Sox, brought to you by Taco Bell. Liv Moss. How about Adam Dunn? He was huge last night. Tremendous performance. 3 for 4, 2 runs scored. He drove in 5. Konerko, Brzezinski, Rios. Got a veteran lineup with a couple of young guys sprinkled in. Meanwhile, for Blake Bevan, starting right-hander for the Mariners, coming off an outstanding performance against Oakland. He won that ball game 5-3. And Eric, scouting report on Mr. Bevan.
Well, Bevan has to go deep today. Eric Wedge had to go to the bullpen early yesterday. It's a little thin today. They'd like to see him, give him a few innings. Give him another quality start. Since the beginning of July last year, there's only 3 American League pitchers with more quality starts than Blake Bevan.
Strike thrower, and he is a very poised young man. We check the defensive alignment for the Mariners, brought to you by Scott's. Sean Figgins, a long time at third base, now doing a good job in the outfield for the Mariners. Saunders covers a lot of ground in the infield. Young guys Seager and Ackley. Blake Bevan and the veteran Miguel Olivo behind the plate. The opening pitch is brought to you by Budweiser. Great times are waiting. Grab some buds. And we are ready for action here at Safeco Field. Wind blowing in from left field across to right field. Last night, the ball carried for Montero. He homered straightaway center field, and so did Adam Dunn. And Dunn then hit a laser shot, his second home run, into the right field stands. Alejandro Diaz. I was thinking Alejandro Pena. That's going back when you were playing.
I hear you.
Alejandro Diaz, the center fielder, going to lead it off for the White Sox. He went 2 for 4 last night. First pitch from Blake Bevan is in there for a called strike 1. And we're underway. Brian Runge behind home plate. Marvin Hudson, the umpire, at first. Tim McClellan at second, and Ted Barrett at third. Down in the dirt. 1-1. White Sox come in a .241 hitting team on this early season. They're 7-6. Already banged out 16 home runs. 1-1 pitch. Did he go? No, he didn't. Ball 2.
When you talk about the 16 home runs this White Sox ball club has hit, one of the things they're doing a bit too much of, though, is swinging and missing. Robin Ventura mentioned that prior to the game. Like to see a little more contact.
2-2 on the foul back. What about for a team like the White Sox, coming to spacious Safeco Field here? How does that change any of their hitting philosophies at all?
Well, Robin talked about this prior to the game. When you've got a big field like this, you don't go up there trying to hit the ball out of the park. Go in there and you try and hit your line drives.
2-2 pitch, fouled off.
And he mentioned some of the other parks around the league, whether it's Fenway or Wrigley Field in the National League, even Coors Field. Sometimes as a player, you have a tendency to go in there and just try and jack everything, hit home runs. You can get yourself into some real bad habits doing that.
Sun field and left field could be problematic this afternoon. 2-2 pitch to center field. Michael Saunders does a great job covering ground out there. Frankie Gutierrez on the DL right now. With a torn pectoral muscle. Umpires for today: Brian Runge behind home plate, first base Marvin Hudson. Tim McClellan, the crew chief, at second. Ted Barrett, he's at third. One out here in the White Sox first. Brett Morel will stand in. third baseman. Slow start for him, hitting a .119. 1 for 3 last night. Had a RBI single to right. Fouled into the glove of Olivo, strike one.
Well, we're talking about the strikeouts. Brent Morrill is one of the guys, 18 strikeouts already this season, and he's not a home run hitter. Got to make more contact.
Off-speed pitch, hit down to the shortstop, Muneyori Kawasaki. Goes over, 2 down. Here comes big Adam Dunn. Great start last year, coming off an appendectomy, rushed back into the lineup and just never found a stroke.
I think a lot of expectations coming over to the American League and then trying to fulfill those expectations.
Breaking ball from Bevan, ball 1. There's A.J. Brzezinski, part of our opening act here in Seattle this afternoon. I wonder if he has texted his agent looking for a check in the mail. 1-0 to Dunn. A couple of tall Texans battling here. Dunn was a high school quarterback down in Lone Star State. And so was Blake Bevan out of Irving, Texas. 1-1. How about Dunn going opposite field last night? That was interesting. But how about this is what he does? This is what Adam Dunn makes his name on.
Well, he's going to swing and miss, but if he connects like this about 40 times a year, there's no problem. You talk about, though, we see the 2 home runs. The most impressive thing you just mentioned, Dave, his first at bat going the other way with a double.
Inside on that pitch, 2-2. Yeah, I'm so used to seeing him center field, right field in the pole. And he slaps it into the left field corner for a double. That was a surprise, his first at bat. 2-2. Outside, full count. First multi-hit game for Dunn as we look at Konerko on deck. First multi-home run game since September 24th of 2010 versus Atlanta. Payoff pitch. Broken bat, slow roller. Ackley will throw out Dunn, and the White Sox are gone in the first. Mariners coming to bat. Figgins, Ackley, and Ichiro will be getting things started here in Seattle. Field Cotton Candy Saturday afternoon as we take a look at the starting lineups for the Mariners. Brought to you by Taco Bell with Moss. Jesus Montero. A lot expected out of him. Catcher DH. Hit a home run last night. You see 19 homers in his young career, coming over from the Yankees in the Michael Pineda trade during the offseason. Kawasaki, big energy guy at the bottom, and a few other guys trying to get on track. Pitcher today for the White Sox, Humber, 6'3", 210. And he's off to a good start thus far. Had two really good performances against these Mariners last year. First pitch to Figgins outside. Check out the scouting report, EK. What do you have?
Well, Humber's got to locate the fastball. And what I mean by that, he can't get behind 2-0 and 3-1. And he's got to win it. In his last 12 starts, the White Sox have only won 2 of those games. Got to be a little better today.
So Sean Figgins, a lot healthier this year. Torn hip labrum last year, shut it down in August. Sub 200. Fully comfortable, fully healed now. Didn't have to, and the big thing, he didn't have to get operated. Humber last year here in Seattle, 7 innings, got a no decision, threw a heck of a ball game, 3 hits, 2 runs, and then beat the Mariners in Chicago. So the count goes to 2-2. Humber, 6'3", 210. He's out of Nacogdoches, Texas, lives in Tyler, Texas now. It's 2-2 here to Sean Figgins, leading it off on home first for Seattle. Backhanded by Konerko. Humber does his job. 1 out. Here's a look at the White Sox defensive alignment, brought to you by Scott's. Ucieto, Diaza, and Rios in the outfield. Morel at third. Ramirez, a very good shortstop. Beckham, a good young second baseman. You got Humber and Brzezinski. Your battery for today. Here's Dustin Ackley, the second baseman for the Mariners, hitting at .259, a homer and 5 runs batted in.
So we were just talking about the defense. What I like about this play, Konerko fields it, but watch when he gets the ball to the pitcher well before he gets to first base. A lot of youngsters and even guys at the big league level like to try to get the ball to the pitcher right when he's touching first base. It's very difficult for the pitcher. Nice play by Paul Konerko.
One job at a time. Catch it, then he can, second job, he can find a bag.
Right.
Ground ball hit to Beckham. Throws out the Mariners second baseman. Quick 2 outs. That'll bring up Ichiro. Ichiro 2 for 4 last night. Couple runs driven in. He doubled hard to right and delivered a RBI single to left. Mariners all-time hits leader. White Sox move their center fielder Diaz over a little bit towards left center field. And the Mariners play in the division in the AL West. Everybody, because Ichiro doesn't pull it as much as he used to. So they'll come in and shape heavily towards the left field line. Humber, quick worker, the 1-1. He's in there with a stop. Ichiro dominant in the record books here in Seattle. Off the fist, backhanded by Ramirez, catches it cleanly, and that'll do it. So a soft line drive to the shortstop, and that'll do it for the Mariners. To the second inning we go in a scoreless ball game. Today's game, presented by Chevrolet, is sponsored by Taco Bell. Sometimes you gotta live Moss. Salute to Armed Forces Day here in Seattle at Safeco Field. All branches of the Armed Forces represented in the pregame for our national anthem, and usually you'll have the pennant flags representing the teams in their respective standings. But today, it's all about salute to Armed Forces Day and our military, and we thank those folks for their service. Paul Konerko leads it off, followed by A.J. Brzezinski and Alex Rios. 4, 5, and 6 here in the second inning for Chicago. A 1-0 from Bevan. Outside. Konerko, tremendously consistent player, and he has ridiculous numbers against the Mariners in his career.
Hey, you talk about his career, close to 400 home runs, RBIs of well over 1,000.
There's a high drive, deep left field. That ball's carrying, and it is gone. A home run for Paul Konerko, his second of the year. RBI number 10, and it's 1-0 Chicago White Sox. Got it on a 2-0 pitch. No sooner had we said, talking about the damage, and he goes deep.
Konerko, a very quiet hitter, not a lot of movement, hands right to the ball, head down. I mean, just very compact.
394 feet. And that was a pure sound coming off the barrel there as A.J. Brzezinski pops one up. Looks playable. Third baseman Seager fighting the sun. And he does a good job there. 1 out. Paulie DeKay with a big home run. Puts the Sox on the board. One out. A run in. That'll bring up right fielder Alex Rios. Career home run number 398. It ties Dale Murphy.
Andres Galarraga and Al Kaline are next in his sights. They're at 399.
Some great names. Off of Bevan's glove. Ackley's got to hurry. He got no play, base hit.
Well, Bevan makes a great pitch here in this situation. Right in on Rios' hands. Unable to make the play, though, and once it gets past him, there's not a lot that Ackley can do.
So an infield single for Rios. 1 out, a run in. Second home run given up by Bevan. That long ball by Konerko. Brings up Alexi Ramirez. Bevan looked like a hockey goalie a little bit there for a second. Here's Ramirez batting in the 7 hole. Pitch up high. Bevan, his first start against these White Sox. They play Alexis straight away. He was 0 for 4 last night. Count evens at 1-1.
Well, the one thing Bevan going against a ball club like this, he throws a lot of strikes. So against a team like the White Sox, they're going to swing the bat. So I'm not so sure how good a matchup this is. If Bevan was a guy that expanded the zone, got the White Sox to go out of their comfort area, probably a bit more effective.
Here's the 1-1 pitch, off speed, breaking ball in there for strike. 1-2 to Ramirez. Paul Konerko, a leadoff homer here in the second. 1-0 White Sox. Infield at double play depth. Here's the 1-2. Misses. On deck hitter is the left fielder Diane Viciedo. White Sox come into today's game 2 games out. third place in the American League Central. Detroit up a game and a half on Cleveland, and Detroit, last we looked, was getting its head handed to it by Texas.
Well, that's happening to a lot of teams this year. In Texas,
they are loaded.
They're loaded. They're wearing some people out, and they're not just beating up on some also-rans. You know, they've played Tampa Bay. They've played the Red Sox.
Team ERAs. Foul back. And here's the up to the minute Central standings in the American League. As we mentioned, Detroit a loser to Texas, so Chicago now a game and a half back.
I think, though, you ask anybody within that division, Detroit has by far and away the most talent.
How about Texas leading in hitting and the ERA coming into today's game? 2-2 pitch popped out. Kawasaki going back to get it. Right to Sun, 2 outs. Take a look at today's 4 keys to the game.
Well, the White Sox have to put it in play. You know, not a lot of swing and misses. Again, last night they win the ballgame. They only had 4 strikeouts. The Mariners, on the other hand, when they get runners out there, they've got to get them in. Last night, 1 for 13 with runners in scoring position. 7 of those strikeouts in the last 2 games, 2 for 22.
Here's Vicieto, the left fielder. With Rios at first. And he looks at strike 1. Vicieto at 200. 2 home runs. A couple of ribbies. 0 for 4 last night. Swinging the foul. Tip back. 0-2. Devin in his last start, 7 innings against Oakland, came away with the victory. 6 hits, 3 runs. Didn't walk anybody. 4 strikeouts. He's a guy that really good strikeout to walk ratio. 0-2 pitch. Bouncing ball to Ackley to Kawasaki. That'll do it. Highlight of the inning for the Chicago White Sox on a 2-0 pitch. Paul Konerko goes deep. It's 1-0 White Sox. Is sponsored by Budweiser. Great times are waiting. Grab some buds. Glad you're with us here in Seattle. Dave Sims, Eric Karras, and the Fox crew. 1-0 White Sox. The Paul Konerko leadoff homer in the second. Home second now. Justin Smoke to lead it off for the Mariners against Philip Humber. Philip Humber. Went 1-2-3 against the Mariners in the first inning. Smoke's a guy the Mariners are depending a lot on for power and RBIs. Fouls that one back, 0-2. Gorgeous day here in Seattle. Safeco Field, 56 degrees. Humidity not too much of a factor. The wind comfortable, and it's sunny, and the weather's supposed to be even better tomorrow. The 0-2. Smoke gone on 3 pitches. 1 out. First strikeout for Humber. Fox Saturday Baseball returns next week when Ryan Braun and the Brewers take on Matt Holliday and the Cardinals as St. Louis looks to maintain its hot start. Or Albert Pujols and the Angels battle the Indians in Cleveland, or the Royals square off against the Twins. Fox Saturday Baseball returns next week at 12:30 p.m. Eastern, 9:30 a.m. Pacific, following MLB Player Poll, which airs at a special time. Check local listings for the game and start time in your area. Here's Kyle Seager, the third baseman for the Mariners. Off to a good start at 292. The Miners didn't hit him a couple of years ago. 194 hits, 140 games. Been consistent pretty much day one of spring training.
Well, a lot of the things, or I should say the main thing that the Seattle Ball Club is lacking, it's experience. And the only way you're going to gain that is by getting out there playing every day. Eric Wedge putting these youngsters in the lineup. And he told us his hope for the year is to be better at the end of the year, to be a markedly different team with the same guys than you were at the beginning of the year.
2-1 pitch to Seager. In there for a strike. And plus, there's 4, 5 pitchers, 3 pitchers at the very top of the pipeline, and 2 bubbling right under the surface. So 5 guys, one of them a closer. Elite people that they want to pair with that man right there, Felix Hernandez, who lost a heartbreaker a couple of nights ago. He pitched 8 innings, was up 1-0, got out of a bases loaded jam with a strikeout for the second out and a strikeout for the third out.
Yeah, Teague had a rough 9th inning, couldn't find the strike zone.
Yep.
And you know, you could argue he may have even been squeezed a little bit. He threw some close pitches, but.
Swing and a miss. Seager, he's gone. Back-to-back strikeouts for Phil Humber. How about the power provided by the young catcher DH, Jesus Montero? And this is a tough place to lead this yard. Look at this.
It really is. He pitched down in the zone, and he knew he got it. You can tell because the minute he hit it, he puts his head down, and they're expecting big things. And for him to develop as a middle of the order guy.
Got it off Chris Sale last night, his second homer, 6th of his major league career. 2 outs here in the bottom of the second, 1-0 on a Paul Konerko home run. It's down low. 2-0. Really good power to right center field for Montero. In there for strike. 2-1. Big topic of conversation when Montero came over here. Came over from the Yankees. The Yankee fans are not real happy to see him leave. They got a good pitcher in Michael Pineda, but of course now they're upset because Pineda came in 20 pounds overweight and he's on the DL now with some shoulder and arm problems.
Yeah, obviously not any early returns in the Yankee starting staff. It's not as strong as they'd like.
A wave and a miss. Strikes out the side. Heck of a job by Philip Humber. When we return to Seattle, we'll do that after word from your local Fox station. Baseball presented by Chevrolet. Good look at the Columbia Tower downtown Seattle. 1-0 White Sox. His first pitch fouled off by Gordon Beckham, the second baseman. Beckham, Diaza, and Morel. That's 9-1-2 here against Blake Bevan. Robin Ventura, first time he's ever managed. You know Robin for a long time. What did you think when he got this job?
I was surprised he took it. And talking to him yesterday, he said, look, it's an opportunity, it's a challenge, and I'm always preaching to my kids about going out and taking advantage of opportunities and practicing what I preach. And, you know, he's going to be good because he's got credibility, just the way he played the game, the way he carried himself. And he said, you know, look, at the game is not that difficult as far as the X's and the O's. He said the speed of the game, that's a little different, but that's what he has his coaching staff on. Relies a lot on bench coach Mark Parent.
Ball, 2 strikes. And how about the dramatic shift in philosophy? You go from the explosive Ozzie Guillen, who had a great run, wins a world championship in 05, and then a little more steadier presence. And talking to Robin yesterday, he said the two guys he patterned himself after, Bobby Valentine and Joe Torre, but more Torre in his demeanor. Fouled off.
Well, I think he tries to emulate what he appreciated as a player. And he wasn't with Torre very long, but he did spend that 1 year, learned a lot with the Yankees. But a complete contrast to Ozzie Guillen. I mean, jokingly, he said, hey, yeah, I go out and throw BP right now just so I don't have to answer questions from you guys.
Line drive over the head of Kawasaki for a base hit. So Beckham had been 5 for his last 29. Might be making a little bit of a run here. Let's go to Matt Veskurjian at the MLB Network studios for a direct TV game break. All right, thank you, Matt. New York Mets. Big win. The game's over 500. Bunt popped up, and Oliva puts it away. So Diaza does not get the job done. 1 out, 1 on. What's happened to bunting, Eric? In the time when you were playing in college, or your pro career, your major league career to now, what has happened to bunting?
Well, you know, everybody always talks about bunting and like it's so easy to do. Now, it's easy to do in the batting cage or when some guy's just lobbing it in there and you're putting it down third saying, yeah, I could beat that out. But you have to remember, this is a big league pitcher. He's spinning it up there, ball's moving. It's not as easy as people think it is.
And yet at the same time, you got to have it too, boy. You get in late game situations, you got to get that runner over, get him in position.
There are certain guys that should know how to bunt. There's no question about it. But to say everybody in the lineup should know how to bunt and hands the bat, that's a lot of old school blah, blah, blah.
I'm not looking 3, 4, 5 to lay it down. I'll tell you that right now. I'm not looking for that. 8, 9, 1.
Yeah, no,
those kind of guys, right?
I absolutely agree that they should be capable of doing it. Now, are you going to do it every single time? No, because again, there's somebody out there trying to prevent you from doing it.
Outside, well, round out the short his first time. White Sox lead on a Paul Konerko leadoff homer in the second against Blake Bevan. Just the second home run given up by Bevan in this early season. Beckham the runner at first, chase back. Adam Dunn is on deck for Chicago. Well, a .245 hitter last year, 10 homers and 41 runs batted in. Breaking ball hammered off the glove of Seager for a base hit. That was one hot smash.
Well, it was. Morrill gets a breaking ball and drives it down to Sager at third. And Sager feels like he caught the ball because he's almost ready to watch him. Watch this, Dave. He almost gets ready like he's got it. He's going to make a throw. See, he's got it like he's going to make that transfer and throw the ball to first.
Tough break there. 2 on, 1 out. Now Dunn with Konerko behind him. Dunn being on the pace that he used to swing the bat when he was in the National League, banging out 40 home runs all the time. Totally changes the Chicago ball club. Mariners a double play depth up the middle. Nice block by Olivo. Dunn grounded out to second base to end the first inning. Chevrolet is helping to build the next generation of diamonds and dreams. We're going to hear from Kenny Rosenthal coming up. Ah! 2-0. Check that. That was a called strike by Brian Runge.
But you look at that, you see Seager really basically on the only guy on that left side. Kawasaki up the middle. Huge shift.
2-1. Big pitch coming here. 2-1 with 1 out, 2 on. Dunn's an imposing figure in that batter's box. Here's the 2-1. Off the fist, fouled away, 2-2. Dunn put up tremendous numbers in Cincinnati, Arizona, and Washington in home runs. Coming up on 370 for his career. 2-2.
Bevan staying in there on the hands. Just does not want Dunn to get any type of extension. If he does make contact, something maybe to roll over to the second baseman where double play is in order. You know, look at that shift. And you mentioned it earlier, Dave, how Dunn went to left field last night.
Here's a drive to center field. Saunders backing up. Tagging at second is Beckham. And he'll move up to third. 2 outs here in the third inning. Chevrolet is helping to build the next generation of diamonds and dreams. Here's our own Ken Rosenthal to tell you more.
As the official vehicle of Major League Baseball, Chevrolet is proud to be building the next generation of memories. Join Chevy as they rebuild youth baseball fields across the country. Go to ChevyBaseball.com to enter for a chance for your community to win a youth field makeover.
Great project. Here's Paul Konerko. He got ahead in the count, 2-0, leading off the second inning, and homered over the bullpen in left field. Runners at the corners, 2 outs. Curious to see how Olivo and Bevan try to attack Paul in this second AB.
Well, they've got to go in, and the reason I say that whole right side of the infield is really wide open with Smoke holding the runner on. I just don't know why you would go away. Konerko is the type of guy, he's an RBI guy. He's up there right now with 2 outs. He's got a runner on third. He's looking to drive something to right center. So if you leave something out over the plate, I think he'll go ahead and do that. You come in on his hands, you're going to have to make him fight that off.
Two on the count to Konerko. Beckham at third. Morelli at first. Set up outside. And that's down low for a ball. 3-0.
See, and right now you still got to make a pitcher's pitch, because if you think that he's just up there taking, you could be sadly mistaken.
Near for a strike. 467 with runners in scoring position for Paul Konerko, and Bevan well aware. Big pitch here, 3-1. Oh, another drive deep left field, and that ball's off the fence. Scoring is Beckham, and going all the way to third is Morrell. A ringing single off the fence in left field. Boy, did that ball jump. Another RBI for Konerko. It's 2 on the day, and it's 2-0 White Sox.
Let's take a look how they go after that. He's set up inside the first pitch, and then they decide to stay away from Konerko, not giving him anything good to hit. That's why I was surprised on the 3-1 pitch that they got so much of the plate. And it's okay to put him on, start anew with the next hitter, Brzezinski. You know, especially, as you mentioned earlier, Dave, the way Konerko wears out the Seattle ball club.
2-0 White Sox. Runners still at the corners. A run in. Here's Brzezinski. And he finds a hole. It's 3-0. Scoring is Morrell. Moving up to second is Konerko. An RBI for A.J. Brzezinski is 14th. Carl Willis, no surprise, pitching coach, coming out to talk to Bevan. The White Sox about to send their 7th hitter to the plate here in the 3rd inning.
Well, and the way they've set up this inning with Beckham getting on, Morrell getting on, you allow guys like Dunn, like Konerko, like Brzezinski to come up with runners in scoring position with guys on base. Makes their job as hitters much easier. And that's really going to be the key to this White Sox ball club. 1 and 2 and number 9, those spots ahead of those middle of the order guys.
Konerko and Brzezinski RBIs here in the 3rd. Alex Rios stands in. He's got runners at first and second. 3 runs on 6 hits for the White Sox. No runs, no hits for the Mariners through 2 innings. 0-1. Eric Wedge told us all about commanding the fastball for Bevan. And then get to his changeup, which is ever improving. 1-0. There's fastball for strike.
Well, Bevan is a strike thrower, and like I said, I'm not so sure that that is a good thing against this White Sox ball club. It's okay to throw balls off the plate, expand the zone. It'll make these White Sox hitters chase.
They don't want them getting so comfortable in there. 1-1. So that pitch, a foul, and it's now 1-2 to Rios. Rios coming over from Toronto late in the 2010 season. A 1-2 here to Rios. Down and low. Boy, this has been a labor-intensive inning for Blake Bevan. This will be pitch number 27 here in the 3rd inning. Deuces Wild, 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, and 2 on. Flipped into right field and foul. That was going to at least get 1.
Well, and really the big game changer, I should say inning changer, was that ball hit off the bat of Brent Morrell to Seager at third. And Seager makes that catch. White Sox don't score this inning. Dunn flew out right after that.
2-2. Now the count is run full. Alexi Ramirez is on deck. Pitch number 29, and it's a big one. 3-2. Runners go. Outside, lost them. The bases are loaded. First walk given up by Bevan. Now he's got Alexi Ramirez. 2 runs in, and the base is loaded.
And only Bevan's second walk all season long. This is a guy in his first 17 starts, 16 walks.
He needs to come up big here. And Ramirez can put a big exclamation point on this inning with a base hit. This is outside. Ball 1. Rick Wade saw some of this last night. Hector Noesi also involved in that trade from the Yankees with Montero for Michael Pineda. Only went an inning and a third, 6 hits, 6 runs, all earned, 2 walks.
And that's where he's got to get more than 2 2/3 of an inning out of Bevan today. You know, Eric Wedge just can't go to the bullpen this early.
Jason Phillips, bullpen coach, walking out of your screen. Fellas out there, Jamie Navarro. They got some action. Here's Jamie. He and his dead on the big leaguers. Line drive. That time Seager fought it off and made the grab and limits the damage. But the White Sox do get 2 runs. Lots to celebrate for the Sox, who lead it 3-0 here in Seattle. Humber with a 3-0 lead for the White Sox. Michael Saunders going to lead it off for the Mariners. There's pitch swinging, fouls it back. Saunders, Olivo, and Kawasaki. 7-8-9 for the Mariners. Saunders getting an opportunity to play in center field with Franklin Gutierrez out. Probably till mid to late May. He'll come back torn pectoral muscle. Saunders behind 0-2 now. Humber struck out the last 3 men he's faced. 6 up and 6 down. Popped it up. Kernerko will put it away. 1 out. Let's go to Matt Vasgersian at the MLB Network Studios for a DirecTV game break.
Dave, Red Sox pouring it on early against Freddie Garcia. A 3-run inning capped here early on in the second by a Dustin Pedroia single. The Sox have knocked the XM Freddie Garcia out early. If you call yourself a sports fan, you got to get DirecTV. Call 1-800-DirecTV. Back to Dave and Eric.
Miguel Olivo, the catcher for the Mariners, struggling, hitting at $130. And this game number 15. Strike 1 to Miguel. Home run leader and RBI leader last season for the Mariners. Humber's retired the first 7 men that he's faced.
Well, and you got to like the pace right now if you're a Chicago White Sox fan. He's getting the ball, he's getting on the mound, he's ready to make the pitch. Defensively, you like that. Not standing around.
Just upstairs, 1-2. When a guy is labored, is there anything you can say to him? I mean, clearly he's not here, but I'm talking about another situation that you played in where a guy is, you're just dying after defensively.
Yeah, you know, I mean, you go in there, you tell him to pick up the pace just because you want to help him. You want to make plays for him defensively. If that guy's out there throwing the ball all over the place, you're standing around out there, and you want to stay involved.
Olivo strikes out. That's strikeout number 4, 2 down, 8 up and 8 down. The 2004 MLB draft is widely recalled with a flame out of number 1 overall pick Matt Bush, but it was the 2011 season. If it's any indication, it will eventually be remembered as the draft of the right-hander. Justin Verlander, Philip Humber, Jeff Neiman, Homer Bailey, Jared Weaver, and Giovanni Gallardo. That is one heck of a class. There's Kawasaki popping one up. And that's out of play. Got some other notables in that 2004 draft. Neil Walker, Billy Buckner, Stephen Drew, Phil Hughes, Glenn Perkins, Hunter Pence, Dustin Pedroia, Kurt Suzuki, Pete Davis, Adam Linden, Josiah Neville. All good players.
Good little group.
9th man to face Phil Humber. Kawasaki looks at strike 2. Came over from Japan, only wanted to play in the United States with the Mariners with his guy, Ichiro. And Humber is going to get through the order perfectly. First time around, 9 up, 9 down. White Sox have a 3-0 lead on this sunny Saturday in Seattle. by DirecTV. If you call yourself a sports fan, you've got to get DirecTV. Beautiful day here in Seattle. Glad you are with us, Fox. Baseball on this Saturday. Dave Sims, Eric Karros in the crew. 3-0 White Sox. Philip Humber of the Sox has gone 9 up and 9 down against the Mariners. There's Viciedo to lead it off. Viciedo, Beckham, and Diaz, 8-9-1. White Sox in the third. 2 runs, 4 hits left them loaded. They sent 8 men to the plate. One to Viciedo.
Well, the tough thing, excuse me, Dave, for Bevan right now is he had a rough inning last inning and then goes in and the offense doesn't give him any kind of break. Doesn't get in there to gather his thoughts. Puts his glove down, he's got to go right back out to the mound.
And a miss. Yeah, you want to be able to catch your breath. Heck of a breaking ball there by Blake Bevan. 1-2. Two pitch. High. White Sox won last night's game 7-3. They come off a 3-4 homestand. 2-2 pitch. Off the fist. Seager goes over to Smoke on the first out. Mariners lost 2 out of 3 to Cleveland here at Safeco Field. They were in position to win all 3 games.
Well, that's something that, on a positive note, you say, well, we're in the game, we're right there. If we get a break here, a break there. The problem is, when losses continue to mount, bottom line is you're losing games. You can talk about how close you are. I say that from experience. I played on a Dodger team one year. We lost 99 games. We had a ton of 1-run games, and we thought, well, you know, we were right there. Bottom line, we were bad.
Numbers are going in the wrong column. 1-1 to Beckham. Mariners are on a run where they've lost 3 of their last 4. Beckham a base hit to left, his first time up. And he's aboard with 1 out.
Bevan just trying to establish the inside part of the plate. This ball continues to run in. Beckham just can't get out of the way. Gets him on that left arm right above the elbow.
Third batter hit by Beckham so far. This is third start. Top of the order, and Alejandro Diaz. Fly to center. Fouled out to the catcher, Miguel Oliva. Sager in at third. Swinging away. Base hit. Right field. Ichiro will get it back in. 7th hit for the White Sox. Runners at first and second.
Third baseman, number 22,
Brent Morrell will stand in now. He had a hard line drive off the glove of third baseman Seager's first time up. He's 1 for 2. 9 base runners in the last 2 1/3 innings for the White Sox.
Well, it's the guys in front of the middle of the lineup that are getting on. You know, Beckham, second time on base. Diaz getting on right here.
9 base runners to none. In fact, Philip Humber 9 up, 9 down through the first 3 innings.
You know, the look, when you look at that, the 9 base runners, none for Seattle. You know, the pace of the game, the feel of this game, you'd think the score was 15-0
Yeah,
White Sox,
right?
but it's not. It's a 3-0 ball game. I mean, Seattle is very much in this thing.
Manageable. Got to get some outs. 2 on, 1 out. Blake Bevan would love to throw a double play ball here. And he started out innocently enough with a ground out to third, but then a hit batter and a base hit. Was in trouble first and second. 2-2. Good crowd here at Safeco Field. Beautiful. Sunny afternoon. Swing and a miss. Morel is gone. That's a big strikeout for Blake Bevan, his first of the afternoon. 2 down here in the fourth. 3-0 White Sox. And tomorrow, NASCAR on Fox heads to Kansas as defending champion Brad Keselowski leads the world's best drivers in a chase for the checkered flag. Fox Sports is proud to bring you exclusive coverage of the STP 400 live from the Kansas Speedway tomorrow, 12:30 p.m. Eastern, 9:30 a.m. Pacific. Adam Dunn fouls one past first base coach Harold Baines.
We watch Morel just strike out, and we talk about the White Sox strikeouts. That was a case where actually that turns out to be a good thing for this offense because it allows Adam Dunn to come to the plate instead of possibly hitting into an inning-ending double play.
0-1. In there for strike 2. Dunn hitting .545, runners in scoring position. Great start for the big fella. Popped it up, and it's coming back this way. First time up, Dunn grounded out to second. Next time up, fly to center field. Oh, and 2. Took a lot off of that, had him way out front. It's about as strong a guy as we have in baseball.
Yeah, when he gets a hold of it, no doubt.
The 0-2 to Adam Dunn, 2 on. Fouls it off.
And he's one of those guys that's just corn-fed strong. Not one of those guys that's going to wow you in the weight room or physically look real good. Man, he can hit him. 287 doesn't hurt either.
Yeah.
We're not talking batting average here, boys.
The 0-2 to Dunn. High drive, right field. Ichiro, though, getting under it. And he'll put it away. A couple of runners stranded as Bevan gets out of a jam here as the Mariners trail 3-0 to the White Sox. Sean Figgin's going to lead it off in a home fourth here in Seattle for the Mariners against Phil Humber. First pitch, a drive to left that backs up VCA. They'll fight in the sun. He wins that battle, 1 out. Robin Ventura, the manager of the White Sox, joins us right now. How about your starter, Philip Humber?
Yeah, I mean, he's a guy that he's a control pitcher. He's very smart. I mean, he goes out there, he gives you everything he's got, but you know, has a little more than just an average stuff. You know, he takes a little off in spots, and you know, he's just fun to have on the mound.
For you, Robin, first-year manager, what is the most important characteristic to have as a manager?
I don't know. You help me out with that?
I want to hear. What do you think? I mean, even, you know, as a player, I mean, what do you think is the most important thing you can do for your ball club?
Well, I think you obviously support them. You're there for them. I mean, we're going out here playing, you know, tough games every night. You know, I just want them to know we're in their corner. We're all out here for the same reason. So, you know, I want them to succeed and to know that I'm behind them, and we're trying to do this as a team.
Robin, thanks for your time.
All right.
Nice catch out in right field by Alex Rios on the drive by Ackley. Take another look.
Yeah, Ackley hits this pretty hard, and it's right over Rios' head. He goes directly back and makes a fine running catch. Those are the tough ones where the outfielder, you can't really take an angle.
11 up, 11 down. Here's Ichiro. Soft liner, shortstop his first time.
You know, I found it interesting, Ventura's comments about, you know, we want to all be on the same page. We want to feel like I can support my guys. Because I think what we saw earlier in the week in Boston with Bobby Valentine making some comments about Youkilis and Dustin Pedroia, it seems like everybody's on a different page.
Ichiro fouls it off. Yeah, Bobby said that was a real innocent throwaway line, and it wound up being headlines in a big part of the news cycle in Boston for about a day and a half.
Well, that's the way you try to explain it away, is it was just a throwaway line. But Bobby's smarter than it. He's been on both sides, the media and the manager, and he is a very intelligent man.
1-2. Ichiro swinging a miss. Brzezinski will tag him. How about Philip Humber, everybody, through 4. He's retired everybody he's faced here at Safeco Field. 3-0 White Sox. He has been dominant against the Mariners. He threw just 8 pitches in the 4th inning. Here's Konerko swinging a hot bat, fouls one off. Konerko, home run to lead off the 2nd, and a 2-out RBI single in the 3rd. Blake Bevan, 0-1 pitch. Another foul ball. Look out. Konerko's career, Eric, has been phenomenal.
Yeah, it really has. I mean, you talk about Konerko, he's borderline Hall of Fame. He's got a world championship under his belt. Captain of the White Sox. He does it on the field, off the field, the way he carries himself.
Went the other way. One hop to Ackley. Nice play by Dustin. 1 out here in the 5th inning. Let's take a look at the Lexus in-game box score for the Chicago White Sox. And some good numbers. They've banged out 7 hits against Bevan. Konerko having a day.
Well, and you look at that box score and you see it's contributions up and down the lineup. It's not just one guy, and only 1 strikeout for the White Sox today offensively.
Brzezinski, a base hit to right and an RBI his last time. Play AJ straight away. Ackley, the second baseman, is on to step onto the grass. Good pitch away, 2-0. Foul off by Brzezinski. 2-1 the count.
It'll be interesting to see what happens with AJ this year. Just because he's a guy that can absolutely help the ball club. Will the White Sox still be involved around the trading deadline?
Fly ball left field. Back goes Kawasaki, calling off Figgins. Ononori makes the catch. This MLB on Fox season. Fox Sports is proud to support Boys and Girls Clubs of America, a place where youth can reach their full potential as productive, caring, responsible citizens. To learn more, please visit greatfutures.org/Fox Sports. Dave Sims, Eric Karras with you, and a really great start. Philip Humber right now in total control of this ball game.
Well, he really is. I mean, he's just carving this ball club apart right now in Seattle. Throwing a lot of first pitch strikes.
There's Kawasaki from the grass. Nice throw to get Rios. That'll do it for the White Sox. Munenori Kawasaki, big energy guy for the Mariners. It's 3-0 White Sox. Is sponsored by Chevrolet, proud to support youth baseball in cities and towns across the country. Great look from Queen Anne Hill, looking down towards downtown. The iconic Space Needle in the Emerald City here in Seattle. Glad you're with us. Fox Saturday Baseball. Dave Sims, Eric Karros and company. Right now, the Mariners through 4, being no hit by Philip Humber. Popped up off the bat of Smoke. Ramirez saying he's got it. And Brett Morrell's very happy that Ramirez came over. So take a look at the Lexus in-game box score for the Mariners. A lot of overs.
We talked about it. Humber just able to move the ball within the strike zone, up, down. Seattle also being very aggressive, offering at first pitches, not working the count at all. You know, when you got a guy like this that's in a group, you got to go up and almost sacrifice yourself for the good of the team. Take some pitches. Don't be afraid to hit with 1 or 2 strikes.
Break one to Kyle Seager. 5 strikeouts for Humber. In fact, in the second inning, he struck out the side. No one's really tried to mess up his rhythm either. I mean, guys are standing in and he's at 1, 2, 3 pitch. 1, 2, 3. I mean, very metronome.
It's a battle to control the tempo, hitter versus pitcher. And right now, Humber's just having his way.
1-1 pitch. Popped up. Short center field coming in. Center fielder taking charge. That's Diaza for 2 outs. And Humber, what a day he's having, Eric.
Well, I mean, I say it until I'm blue in the face. He's controlling the strike zone. He's getting Seattle to be aggressive on pitches that are out of the zone. You watch these swings. I mean, these are 4 or 5 swings on pitches that aren't even in the zone. But the reason he's able to do it is he's working ahead. When he works ahead, the hitters expand the zone.
I mentioned earlier that he had 2 outstanding performances against the Mariners last year. Here in Seattle last May 6th. Got a no decision, but went 7 innings of 3-hit, 2-run ball. Fly ball to left. And another quick inning. Philip Humber threw 5. A perfect game here in Seattle against the Mariners. 3-0 White Sox. Dodge dealer today, and by Olympic Maximum Stain and Sealant in 1. Back here at Safeco Field in Seattle, a 3-0 White Sox lead. Philip Humber, perfect through 5. Against the Mariners, he struck out 5 in the process. Alexi Ramirez will lead it off against Blake Bevan. And a breaking ball in there for strike 1. How about Humber pitches by inning? 12, 14, 11, 8, and 6 for a total of 51.
Well, that's being effective, but that's also a function of Seattle not really working like they should offensively. You got to be a bit more patient. You can't have a guy that throws 8 pitches 1 inning, come back and throw 6 the next. I mean, you've got to do something. But that's a young ball club for you.
Fly ball, center field. Michael Saunders. It's under. 1 out. Bevan. 2 1/3 down. He's pitched some good baseball after a rocky second inning and a rocky third inning.
He really has. He didn't get off to a good start. Minimized damage, though. And it's something that I think if you're Eric Wedge or Carl Willis and you're watching this, you're seeing growth. And that's what you want to see from your ball club day in and day out.
That's a ball foul off the batter by Viciado. 0 for 2. Eric Wedge's club. Nothing but zeros on the board here at Safeco Field. 1 out, top of the 6th. He gets a breaking ball in there, and Viciado did not like the Brian Runge call. 0-2. Not a lot of conversations going on with your pitcher down there. Philip Humber.
And nobody getting near Philip Humber. Nobody speaking to him.
Bevan's got Viciado 0-2. You can see Olivo set off high. Time call. Both Bevan and Humber worked a good pace. And to your point, Eric, Mariners haven't done anything to really slow him down. Off the fist, talking about Humber.
Yeah, and there's a lot of things you can do as a hitter. You can go in there, you can step out of the box, you can adjust your batting gloves, act like you got something in your eye, just do something.
Come up with your shoelace on
Right,
tie.
I mean, you got to do something.
Breaking ball hit down to Seager, gets a nice hop. Strong throw. 2 outs. The UEFA Champions League semifinals continue on Tuesday when Drogba and Chelsea look to complete the upset against Messi and defending champion Barcelona. Then on Wednesday, Real Madrid will put it all on the line against Bayern Munich team, hoping to advance to the final at their home stadium in May. The UEFA Champions League semifinals are live this Tuesday and Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific on Fox Soccer and FX. Strike 1 to Gordon Beckham. 2 outs in the top of the 6th. 7 in a row retired by Blake Bevan. Pitch number 100. Foul back.
And it hasn't been pretty for Bevan, but it's been effective. Again, only 3 runs. He's pitched in and out of trouble, but he's battled. He's kept his club in this ball game.
Popped up. He's going to get out of this one cleanly. Smoke calling off Olivo. And that'll do it. 8 in a row retired by Blake Bevan. He needs a lot of help. Philip Humber's got a perfect game through 5, 3-0 White Sox. summary. Paul Konerko doing damage here at Safeco Field. Led off the second with a home run beyond the bullpen. The big story, though, is Philip Humber. He's dominated against the Mariners here.
Well, he really has. And we're looking at two guys. Historically, Paul Konerko has just worn out the Seattle Ball Club. And you mentioned it earlier, Dave. Philip Humber last year against this Mariner Ball Club, 14 2/3 innings, 1-0, a 160 batting average against. I mean, really, you put Humber on the mound, Konerko up at the plate, and looks like they could beat the Mariners.
Here's Michael Saunders to lead it off. 7, 8, and 9 in the sixth. Humber with 5 strikeouts, perfect through 5. Saunders to center field. Sounds like he broke his bat in the process. Diaza for the out. Gonna bring up Miguel Olivo. With 1 out here in the sixth.
You know, we talk about Humber and his ability to control the zone. When he is hitting bats, he's not hitting barrels. Now, I cannot recall a hard hit ball all game long by the Seattle Ball Club, not even a foul ball.
Olivo, first time up, struck out on a 2-2 pitch. To Olivo. Popped up. Out of play. Philip Humber. Dixon Tyler, Texas, first round pick. 3rd overall by the New York Mets in the June 2004 player draft. This one popped up and playable. Second baseman Gordon Beckham, 17 in a row, retired by Humber. Humber not too long ago had Tommy John surgery, but was talking to him a couple of days ago. Feels like he's back to where he was, maybe even a little bit better in terms of velocity on his pitch.
You know, I don't know how much better you can get right now.
Yeah, right. Laying down a bunt. Humber's got it. Perfect game lives as Kawasaki tried to break it up. 18 in a row retired by Philip Humber. We're through 6 when we return to Seattle after a word from your local Fox station. Saturday Baseball presented by Chevrolet. We've got a heck of a story brewing here in Seattle. The White Sox 3-0 over the Mariners. Mariners batters have yet to even reach a full count. Philip Humber throwing a perfect game through 6. 18 up, 18 down. And now a new pitcher takes over for the Mariners. Rookie Lucas Licky, left-hander out of Brenham, Texas. Rule 5 pickup from Milwaukee. Blake Bevan's day is done. And Licky will face the top of the order. And Philip Humber, nobody talking to him. 0-1 to Piazza. And he drops in a big hook in there, 0-2. He's done a great job against left-handers. He's just 1 for 6. His 6th game. Very early going in April.
And if this shot looks familiar, he's sitting in the same spot. Nobody's talking to him. Same thing each and every inning. So you don't think he's aware of it?
Everybody else is too. There, I don't think they've moved either. The Ozit strikes out. 1 out here in the 7th. Visit MLB.com/fanguide to register for a chance to win a VIP experience for 2 at a 2012 World Series game and to download your favorite team schedule. Presented by Scotts, the official lawn care company of MLB. Brent Morrell, third baseman. Pops one up, Ackley back. Calls off Ichiro, 2 outs. So quick 2 outs here in the top of the 7th. Damage done by the White Sox offense. Take you back to the 2nd inning. Konerko leads off with a home run. 3rd inning, Konerko with an RBI single, and Brzezinski followed with another one. 2 2-out RBIs in the 3rd inning. Adam Dunn so far today, 0 for 3. Two outs, nobody on. 1-1 Adam Dunn.
It's funny. It's like Humber's invisible. I mean, nobody's acknowledging he's there. He's just sitting there.
2 balls, 1 strike to Dunn. 2-2.
See, cheering Dunn on a little bit. See, I don't even think he's allowed to talk to anybody.
2-2 to Dunn. Full count. Pretty much the same order we've seen the last couple innings. The seating order.
Yeah. There's AJ. Been putting down the right fingers all game long, catching.
Dunn strikes out, and that'll do it for the White Sox in the 7th. And from Seattle, we send you to Matt Vasgersian. Matt?
Dave, thanks. Some exciting finishes around baseball today. Rangers, Tigers, first of a doubleheader. Mike Napoli's hot. 6th home run in the last 5 games. Rangers beat the Tigers in the first of a doubleheader to extend their winning streak to 8. Giants, Mets in Flushing. If the Giants turn this double play, they go to extra innings. It's not turned. Buster Posey throws it away. Mets end a 3-game slide. They walk off the Giants in New York. And in D.C., the Washington Nationals off to their best start since they were the Montreal Expos. They improved to 12-4 on Ian Desmond's game winner. Nats beat the Marlins in the bottom of the 10th. We'll get you back out to Seattle after a quick timeout.
I like it. The 2012 Ford F-150, built for tough. And by the Snap Spreader System from Scott's. Feed your lawn. Feed it. The MLB Fan Cave is back this year. 9 cave dwellers will compete to remain in the cave until the final pitch of the World Series. Some of the baseball's biggest stars are scheduled to visit and appear in Fan Cave videos. Check out all the latest cave happenings at MLBFanCave.com. Follow at MLBFanCave on Twitter and like on Facebook. Philip Humber, huge story through 6. He's perfect with 6 strikeouts. And not one Seattle batter has seen a full count. And over the last couple of innings.
No, and as dominating as he's been, 18 outs, right? Only 3 of them ground ball outs. The rest fly outs or strikeouts. And that is so easy for the defense. 3 ground ball outs.
How about this? 6 pitches in the 6th, 6th in the 5th, 8 in the 4th.
He's going to have to warm up. I mean, look at 3 ground outs. One of those was back to him on an attempted bunt.
By Kawasaki, that ended the 6th inning. In at 3rd is Morrell on the grass. 1-1 to Figgins. Top of the order. Figgins, Ackley, and Ichiro here in the 7th. White Sox with a run in the 2nd, 2 in the 3rd. Ball and 2 strikes to Figgins. He's grounded out the 1st. Fly to left. 1-2 to Figgins. So they're not talking about it in the Chicago dugout. Over in the Mariner dugout, guess what? A lot of gnashing of teeth. 1-2 to Figgins. Foul ball.
Well, there's probably a lot of screaming out there. I wouldn't say screaming, but hey, he's throwing a perfect game. Hey, guys, you know he's throwing a perfect game, right? Hey, he's throwing just something.
They holler out to Paulie. Hey, Paulie!
Yeah.
No such humor coming out of the Sox dugout. Almost hit him. Got AJ though, got his bare hand. AJ Brzezinski trying to shake it off. 2-2.
Almost gets Figgy there. Remember that this is the top of the lineup for Seattle. This is really the inning that if things aren't going to work out for Humber as far as a perfect game, I think this is the inning where it happens.
2-2 to Figgins. Swing and a miss. Struck him out. That's a half a dozen strikeouts for Philip Humber.
Well, Humber throwing a lot of breaking balls when he's trying to put the guy away. Here, just goes right after Figgins with a hard fastball up in the zone.
That tied his longest no-hit bid. Last time was against the Yankees. Last day, swing and a miss by Ackley. Ackley grounded out the second, hit a hard line drive to right field. All in a strike. Two balls, one strike. Popped up. Ramirez. 2 down. Last time the White Sox had a no-hit / perfect game, it was Mark Burley. How about this? Remember the Dwayne Wise catch? How great was that? Off of Gabe Kapler. An incredible play. And then Alexei Ramirez throws for the final out, and the 18th perfect game in big league history. Ichiro ground ball. Konerko will take it. Perfect game lives through 7. And again, another economical inning by Philip Humber. History brewing in Seattle. 3-0 White Sox. Marvelous performance through 7 by Philip Humber. AJ and Philip Humber enjoying themselves.
That's odd. Look where Philip Humber is sitting. Shocker.
New pitcher for the Mariners, their third this afternoon. Steve Delabar takes over. Panerco has been outstanding today with a leadoff home run back in the second. 2-out RBI single in the third. He's 2 for 3. Panerco went 0 for 4 last night in the White Sox 7-3 win. Good pitch by Delabar, 0-2. Delabar, elbow reconstructed, then a teacher. And made the ball club, came up late last year. Swing and a miss, and Panerco's gone on 3 pitches. Let's go to Matt Vasgersian at the MLB Network studios for a DirecTV game break.
Hey, Dave, yesterday the Reds won their 10,000th game as a franchise, and today they're handed their 9,711th loss. Cubs snap out of a 6-game slide. They beat the Reds 6-1. If you call yourself a sports fan, you got to get DirecTV. Call 1-800-DirecTV. Dave, back to you and Eric.
Hey, Matty, if you call yourself a sports fan, you better be watching our game right now. I know it's 2% of the country, but you got to be watching us, man.
We are focused on this game like a laser beam, EK.
Brzezinski flies out to left field. Thanks, Matt. 2 outs here in the 8th.
Right fielder, number 51, Alex Rios.
I'll bring up Alex Rios. 13 straight retired by Seattle pitchers after they got out of the rugged second and third innings. Mariner pitchers have allowed just 1 hit after the third inning.
You know, this is much like yesterday's ball game as far as the White Sox putting up a bunch of early runs, and then the bullpen for the Mariners coming in and shutting things down. Again, after the early run scoring by the White Sox, Mariner pitching staff has shut down the Chicago Ball Club, but the offense has just been non-existent.
7-3 win by the Sox last night, and over the last 7 innings, Mariner pitching held the Sox to a run on 2 hits. In tight to Rios. One, 2 for Delabar. He went. Yes, he did. Tag applied. Here we go to the home 8th. Philip Humber. 21 up, 21 down, 3-0 Sox. By Lexus and their pursuit of perfection. And by the makers of Bayer Advanced Aspirin, the official pain reliever of MLB. Dave Sims, Eric Karros and company here in Seattle. Big story today, that man, Philip Humber, perfect through 7. He's got Smoke, Seager, and Montero, 4, 5, and 6 here in the 8th. A couple of balls hit hard here today. He had the Ackley line out to right, and Figgins on a 1-2 count hit a ball hard, and that's about it. One to Smoke was struck out and popped to short.
Why is there's not a video guy in here for a nationally broadcast game?
In tight, 2-1. And again, not a Seattle Mariner batter has seen a 3-2 count. 2-1 to Smoke. 2-2.
Well, you know, and that has something to do with Humber when you're talking about not seeing a 3-ball count, obviously with his ability to control his pitches. But Seattle also has been very aggressive, swinging at the first or second pitch.
There's a 2-2 to Smoke. Struck him out. That's strikeout number 7 for Philip Humber. Now it's time for the Just for Men Auto Stop Foolproof Stat. There you go. 20 perfect games in Major League history. Roy Halladay, a couple of years ago against the Marlins, last time out.
I think the way he's done it so far today, it's just been dominance.
Seager fouls one back.
You mentioned the 2 hard hit balls. One of them, the fly ball that Rios made a nice running catch on. But the other one was a foul ball. I mean, that's where we're going with this. We're saying hard hit balls. We're starting to count foul balls.
0-1 to Seager. And all 7 strikeouts have been swinging. 0-2. Seager strikeout victim of a fly to center.
Well, and you see he's going with the fastball a lot more often right now. He's up there at 92, 93. Early in the game, we saw a lot of the breaking balls for that out pitch. Now he's going to the fastball.
Straight away is how they play Seager. The pitch to left field. Going back DiCiano. And actually a left fielder making the catch out there for the second out. So 2 down. Here's today's outstanding moment brought to you by Mazda. Better, stronger, smarter. And here's that ball. One of the balls that was really hit hard. That's off the bat of Ackley. Nice catch by Rios in right field. Here's Montero. Brett Lillibridge. Local product here in the Seattle area. The new left fielder. Strike 1 to Montero. One and 1 to Montero. 2 outs. Bouncing ball to the second baseman Beckham. Throws, and a perfect game through 8 for Philip Humber here in Seattle. He is throwing a beauty. 3-0 Sox. continues on the mound for the Mariners. He's got Alexei Ramirez, Brett Lillibridge, and Gordon Beckham. Bottom third of the order for the White Sox, who lead 3-0. Ramirez today 0 for 3. Fouled off. Give you an idea of how efficient Philip Humber's been. He's had 3 innings of 8 pitchers or fewer. 8 pitches or fewer. In the fourth, he went 8. Fifth, he went 6. Sixth inning, he went for 6. Swing and a miss. Ramirez is gone quickly. Delabar struck out 3 of the 4 men he's faced.
Left fielder, number 18.
You're just joining us. Story of the game, that man right there, number 41, Philip Humber. He's got a perfect game through 8 innings. He has been dominant. Swing and a miss by Lillibridge. Back home. And he's a product of Everett, Washington. A little bit north Seattle. He had some good moments last year here against the Mariners as well. Fouled off. 0-2. Humber in the same spot he's been in pretty much from when we started documenting. He has been at that same spot when he's come to the dugout.
Yeah, I wouldn't go anywhere else if I were him either. And you talk about the dominance, only 4 ground ball outs today. So it's been relatively easy for the defense. Outside of Alex Rios making a nice catch in right field, they've been just routine pop-ups. They've been strikeouts. And the 4 ground balls weren't that difficult.
7 strikeouts, all swinging. 0-2 to Lillibridge. Well hit. 1-out single by Brett Lillibridge in his first at bat in the series. The White Sox have a man aboard. First hit by either team since the 4th inning. That last hit was a base hit by Diaza. It was the last time there was a base hit in this ball game. 1 out, 1 on. Second baseman Gordon Beckham. 1 Beckham today. Single to left, hit by a pitch and fouled out to Smoke at first base.
A.J. Brzezinski behind the plate, putting down all the right fingers today. Humber.
A.J. caught the Burley. Perfect game. One, make it 2-1. They can play 2-1 to Beckham. Gorgeous day here in Seattle. Glad you're with us here at Fox Baseball this Saturday. 2-1. Roll over.
You know, I know Beckham, he's up there in the box and he's thinking about hitting. But I think right now, if you're on that White Sox ball club, all you're worried about is getting back out there. You don't even care about what you're doing offensively. You want to get out there and play the rest of this ball game. And
runner goes.
Hope to get that perfect game. And it's much easier too to play. It's much easier to play defense when there's a no-hitter as opposed to a perfect game. And the reason I say that, you're out there with a perfect game. You're out there defensively. You know, if you make an error, you screw up the perfect game. You know, with a no-hitter, you can go try to make a great play. You can try and do something. You boot it. It's like, hey, man, that's an error. I'll take that.
2-2 pitch. Runner goes again. Throw, and a throw bobbled, lost by Olivo. Stolen base, Lillibridge. And for Brent, that's his 3rd. He's 3 for 3.
You know, Robin Ventura trying to etch out another run. Again, we talk about the dominance of the White Sox today, how it just seems like it's been a completely overwhelming game in their favor. It's still only 3-0.
3-2 pitch. Bouncing ball goes to Kawasaki. They'll throw. Gets Beckham for the second out. Moving up to third is Lillibridge. 2 outs. Coming up next week. Good bunch of games coming your way here on Fox. Top of the order. Alejandro Diaz. One from Delabar. "29 years old, Philip Humber out of Nacogdoches, Texas, lives in Tyler, Texas. Former #1 pick of the New York Mets."
I'll tell you, if he knew he was going to get this much time on the camera today, he might have shaved.
It's probably what his mom is saying, right? 1-1. 2-1 to Diaz. Bottom third of the order coming up for the Mariners in the 9th. Humber will make his bid for the perfecto. 2-1 pitch. Hard smash, base hit. That'll pick up a run. 4-0 White Sox. Diaz with an RBI. That's his 7th of the season. So another run on the board for the White Sox. Scoring easily is Lillibridge. Now Brent Morrell, the third baseman. He's 1 for 4. Back safely is Diaz. Delabar pitches scoreless 8th. A couple strikeouts there. Here in the 9th. Strikeout, a base hit, a ground out, an RBI single. Stolen base mixed in. One to Morrell. Here comes the 0-1. And there for strike, 0-2 to Morrell from Steve Delabar.
I mean, every shot we've seen, he's just been expressionless.
They're keeping himself in a nice trance-like state. Swing and a miss, and here we go. 3 outs from history at Safeco Field. Philip Humber, 24 up, 24 down. They'll face the bottom third of the order for the Mariners. Saunders, Olivo, and Kawasaki. Philip Humber of the Chicago White Sox, 3 outs away from history. Welcome everybody to Seattle. Dave Sims, Eric Karros with you. Michael Saunders leading off for Seattle, and you think Philip Humber's not aware of what's going on here, E?
We've got looking at a perfect game right now. He's facing the bottom third of the lineup. And he's been aware for the last 3 or 4 innings. He's just been effective, pitch efficient.
2-0 to Saunders. 7 strikeouts for Humber. 2 hard hit balls, a foul ball, and a line out by Ackley. 3-0. Welcome those of you around the nation joining us here in Seattle on a sunny Saturday afternoon. It's the deepest count that Humber's worked today. First 3-ball count we've seen. Pitch to Saunders. In there for a strike at 3-1.
So now, are you trying to preserve the perfect game, or are you the no-hitter? I mean, do you throw a fastball here right down the middle, just so you don't walk him? I mean, a million things going through Humber's mind.
(3-1) to Saunders. Swing and a miss. 3-2. Gonna pay it off right here. Lead off in the home ninth. The pitch. Struck him out. Strikeout number 8 for Philip Humber.
Hey, Dave, you don't think he doesn't know or he's not excited? Look at his reaction after he strikes Saunders out. Little hop, little yeah. Watch if we can see now. I'm going to see Humber there. AJ excited, but Humber does a little jump right.
John Jaso now will pinch hit. Swing and a miss. Jaso 1 for 4 career against Humber. It was a home run. John coming over from Tampa Bay. Humber in a great rhythm. Breaking ball. Strike 2. One out here in the ninth. The 0-2 pitch to John Jaso. High pop. Playable. Right field for Rios. He's 1 out away from a perfect game. They're going to pinch hit for Kawasaki. They're going to bring out Brendan Ryan, the everyday shortstop for the Mariners. So Ryan coming off the bench. Last hope for the Mariners, trying to break up this perfecto. Humber has been simply brilliant today. Ryan's 1 for 3 career against Philip Humber. And what a spot he's in. First pitch to Ryan. 0-1. Play Ryan straight away. Crowd here at Safeco Field on its feet. The 1-0 to Ryan. Gets the outside corner for a strike. 1-1. A 1-1 pitch to Ryan. Swing and a miss. 1-2. He's a strike away from the perfect game. One and 2 to Ryan. 2 outs. Humber set. The pitch. Breaking ball upstairs. 2-2.
And you know a lot's going through him right now. Also, all the infielders out there, all the defensive players. They're just as involved.
The 2-2 pitch to Ryan. Outside, full count. Doesn't get any more dramatic than this.
Here comes the fastball.
And the official count, only the third time he's gone to a 3-ball count this afternoon. Ryan thinking about it. So's Humber. Into the line, the 3-2 pitch. Fouled away.
I like it. A.J. not messing around behind the plate. He's calling for that fastball. It's worked for him effectively late in this game.
Ryan, a day off for him today, but now he's got a chance for something special. He swung. Brzezinski has got to throw it down. It's a perfect game for Philip Humber. On the 21st of April, 2012 in Seattle, the 20th perfect game in regular season history. How about that? White Sox win it 4-0 on a perfect game. 20th perfect game in regular season baseball history. 21st all-time. Brendan Ryan check swing. Thought he did. Brian Runge said you went. A.J. Brzezinski retrieved the ball, threw down to Konerko, and Humber, look at him, throw it down, get it there.
That's as fast as I've seen A.J. run after anything lately, and man, he got down there and threw it to Konerko, and that's all she wrote.
White Sox with a big win. They've taken the first 2 games of the series here. Look at A.J. bent over backwards. A perfect game for 29-year-old right-hander Philip Humber out of Nacogdoches, Texas. And a resident of Tyler, Texas. A big ovation from the fans here in Seattle. We will get Philip Humber. He will be joining us in a matter of moments. But, Eric, we saw a spectacular pitching performance today by Philip.
Well, it goes without saying, a perfect game is a great achievement, but the way he did it, being so pitch efficient and then just dominating this Seattle lineup. I mean, outside of one ball hit relatively hard to right, he dominated.
Philip, Dave Sims, Eric Karros up here in the booth. Give us an idea what your emotions are right now. Congratulations.
I mean, I can't even put it into words. You know, going into the 9th inning there, it was just like, you know, well, this. That feels good. Oh, my God.
That was super cold, wasn't it?
Yeah. What was the question?
I just wanted to know what the emotions you're going through right now. I mean, it's just got to be spectacular.
I'm just
right?
so happy. You know, there's so many good things that are happening right now, and this just adds to the list. And God is so good. You know, I've got a little boy on the way, and just want to say hi to my wife who's home, and you know, I love you, baby, and that's for you.
Hey, Philip, talk a little bit about that strikeout you had in the 9th against Michael Saunders. You were 3-0. You came back, and we saw a little emotion when you got him.
Yeah, you know, I didn't want to, you know, when you have a 4-run lead, you don't want to walk the leadoff guy out there, no matter what the situation is. And, you know, falling behind 3-0 there, I felt myself kind of overthrowing a little bit. But, you know, I was able to, you know, get it back over the plate. And you know, a lot of credit goes to A.J. He did a great job of calling pitches today and blocking a lot of balls in the dirt. And, our offense came out and got me some runs early. So it was a really good win on top of everything else.
I mean, do you remember the last time, whether it was in Little League, college, that you dominated a game? I mean, I know it was a perfect game, but nobody touched the ball off of you. I mean, you were as good as you've ever been.
There was a couple of balls there that we hit hard, And I got to say, Lily made a great play in left, and Rios made a good play in right, and there's other plays that our guys make look easy that aren't really that easy. So, I don't know if I would say I dominated them. Obviously, the balls were hit at people, and I'm thankful for that. But well-pitched game, and definitely something I'll never forget.
Well, I'm going to say it right now. You're being humble because you dominated today. You go look at that tape. They were not hard-hit balls. And, hey, it was great watching you.
I appreciate that, Eric. Thank you.
Hey, good stuff there, Philip. And just the other day, we were talking about you coming off the Tommy John surgery. You're all the way back now.
A little further than I ever have been. I'll tell you that. This is awesome. I'm so thankful.
Philip, thanks so much for your time.
All right. Thank you,
Congratulations.
Guys.
Great job.
Thanks.
And Philip Humber, star today, our smooth play of the game. Philip Humber, 9 strikeouts, 5 groundouts, 13 flyouts. It's the White Sox 18th no-hitter and the 3rd White Sox perfect game. Totally in control of the Seattle Mariners this afternoon on a beautiful sunny Saturday in Seattle. Wow, what a performance. A perfect game. 4 runs on 9 hits for the Sox. Zeros across for the Mariners. Eric Karros, we got to see a heck of a ball game here today.
Well, we did. We saw dominance. We saw a great pitching performance, something we won't forget. We saw somebody getting wet right there.
That's all for now from Seattle. Coming up next, we're going to send it back to the MLB Network studios for post-game coverage right after these messages.